Hey guys, and welcome to Creators Campfire. I have with me tonight someone who I've been watching for actually quite a while, and we were just discussing how weird that might be. One of my favorite tech YouTubers, Noah Herman. Noah, welcome.
Hi guys, it's great to be here. It's my first time being live, first time being properly interviewed, so happy to be here.
Yes, I am. Noah was just saying this is his first time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I feel pretty honored that I am the first person to interview you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
I'm such a
we're
special
excited.
person.
Yes, right? And
Not to me, but happy some people think that.
you definitely are, and um, I yeah, no, it's true, and I'm just gonna fill everybody else in on the conversation we were just having.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how weird it can be, especially for like Noah sitting there to go, oh, other people actually watch me, and I'm sitting here going,
Yeah,
shit,
people
there's
actually
someone gonna watch.
care. It's the
Right?
weirdest thing, you forget that you share details about your life and about yourself, and then like people will comment these personal things and you're like, who told you? And you're like, oh, that was me in a video like 15 videos ago. So yeah, it's really great that some of you care about me. It just blows my mind, but
Yeah, we care.
anyway,
We
yeah,
definitely care.
that's that. I appreciate that.
Yes, you've got 53,000 people
Something like
that
that.
care,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
apparently
your right,
somehow, some way.
your stuff is definitely doing something. I
I
promise
hope
you.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
um, okay, so we're gonna talk about Noah's kind of YouTube journey, and I was just saying I've got like a bunch of questions. But Noah, before we kick into that, could you
Sure.
give a much better introduction than I can about who you are and what you do?
Talking about myself, great. I love doing this. Yeah, I'm Noah Herman. Yeah, sure, apparently, some of you know who I am somehow. I make tech content on YouTube. I've been doing it for the past, oh God, 5 years. And just in the past two, things sort of hit off. And yeah, I predominantly cover Apple content, as you know. That's what performs well with me. And I also just use it in my daily life, so it makes sense. And currently in college. I go to U of M. I go to the Ross School of Business, and it's currently kicking my ass. And but yeah, just having a great time juggling school and YouTube and life and stuff like that. Of course, 2020 has been really fun, but yeah, that's about all I got about me. Like.
That's cool.
Well,
I'm
I'm
gonna dig
happy to
into
answer
that.
more questions. Just
Yes,
ask me the right ones.
yes. I've got lots of questions.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, yeah, they're all good questions. I promise you.
Oh no,
So
I'm sure. I'm afraid how I'm gonna answer them. Live.
this is gonna be
We'll
fun.
see. We'll see. Oh
We've
yeah.
got people here that have apparently been watching you since the beginning. I can't say that I have, but that's very cool.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
so,
5 years
so
ago, no. Oh God. All right, go
right,
ahead.
well, take me back to the beginning because
Take
like
me
you're
back to the beginning.
yeah you're
Oh
not that old. You're
boy.
still studying.
I'm
So
20 years old. Some people, I mean, with a beard, some people think I'm with a beard, whatever this is. Some people think I'm older without it. I look like I'm 14, but yeah, yeah, I had been, I mean, of course, a lot of tech YouTubers admire people like Marquez. He's like the pinnacle of everything. Love that guy. I think we all do. Obviously, you're performing one of the best, or his videos perform really, really well. And he's just a really genuine, guy, and his format and his style is really great. So I was inspired by him and Lou and other people, like John Rettinger or whatever, like old school YouTube. I've been into tech since. Well, I guess I'll start there. I mean, not that you asked, but that's the whole point of this interview, right? Yeah, I mean, I've always loved tech since I was little. Like the original iPhone came out, and I was just like fixed on that. I was always just like, give me your phone, and
wait, how old were you when the original iPhone came out?
I
Just
was
out of interest.
7. I was 7 years old. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm a youngin, or no, I was young. I was a little kid, and I just remember thinking that was the coolest. I think I was. I think the first iPhone I saw was the iPhone 2G. No, no. The iPhone 3G. Because like I don't think I remember seeing the original one. I remember seeing the plastic one, and yeah, that was the coolest thing ever. And yeah, no, I just was into that at a young age. I used to make like cardboard phones and stuff. My parents didn't let me have any tech until I was 10, which is the funniest thing. But I knew what it was. I went on the computer here and there, and I just was obsessed with it. And then I got an iPod Touch fourth generation. I have it in the other room. I wish I could. I don't want to leave the camera, but yeah, I have that, and that was my first device. And I know a lot of people my age, Gen Z. We can all relate to that and playing iOS games. And then I started using the camera on that, and I made little movies and stuff, and used like action movie effects and iMovie, and made little dumb skits and whatever. And then I wanted to do tech YouTube when I was like 12. My parents were like, no, we don't want you doing that. And at first I was upset about that, but then I was like, thank God they didn't let me. But then I started doing stuff by myself when I was around like 14, 15. I experimented, like posted some like mock-up videos. And then I posted something when I was 15 without telling my parents. I was like, whatever, like, like I'm just going to post my voice. Oh, well. And it was like a how to learn about tech video or whatever. It didn't do well, but it has a couple thousand views now. Everyone's like, oh my God, this was Noah back then. Wow. When I was 15. But yeah, I know I started at the beginning of high school. I sort of had like a not like a midlife crisis, but like a crisis. I was like, what am I good at? Because I was in high school and I realized I wasn't exceptionally great at math. I thought I was going to be like a computer programmer. I hate that. I hate programming. The teacher ruined it for me, and I don't think I had the patience for it. I thought I was going to be like someone into science. People are like, oh, you look like a STEM major, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. I'm not that smart. But yeah, I figured out that I like filmmaking and stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I'll do YouTube, and I love technology. I always have, always will. And started posting in 2015. And, of course, I'm sure your follow-up questions will cover the sort of timeline, as I go. So I guess that's sort of the origin story of Noah Herman.
That's so cool. Yeah, I guess there is an age gap here. I guess
Yes.
when the iPhone came out, that's nuts. But that's
Yeah.
so cool to have started so young, and to have almost been in that kind of tech world growing up. And being like watching it evolve, right?
Yeah, just revolutionary stuff. I mean, like when I was born, we had like, I wasn't aware, but like the Nokia, excuse me, phones or whatever, like those brick things. And then within 7 years, we were touching screens and stuff. And yeah, like when you watch the original like iPhone keynote, where Steve's like, you can swipe and all the home button and who wants a stylus? Like that was the most magical thing. I didn't watch it when I was 7, but watching it back, I was like, yeah, I could see it was a really exciting time. And, although I wasn't in the first wave of tech YouTubers, I'm happy to have been in a wave at least, I apparently made it kind of. Yeah, no, I think so, and I'm here. So I don't know,
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
definitely. But I guess at that age and when you're that young, you're not necessarily going into YouTube with a plan or a strategy. It's like you said, you kind of just liked making videos, right?
That's the thing. People will ask me like, oh, I want to like, because people will find out, oh, you make money doing YouTube. Oh, I want to do that. Like, how do I do that? And I'm like, you don't. I'm like, you just have to enjoy what you're talking about and go into posting thinking that you'll get like 100 views on a video. Like I didn't start out thinking I was going to go anywhere. I just wanted to do it. It was something to do. So you have to start it out as a hobby, and treat it like that. Otherwise you're going to fizzle out. And some people, that's happened to some people because they got so focused on performance. And I guess when you make it, you can worry about that and stress about that because it's your business. Like that's sort of my situation right now. But early on, no. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing. That's everybody, and that's the beauty of it. It's just years and years of just learning how to improve. And then finally, you catch your break if you're fortunate enough to, and I did last year. And of course we can probably talk about that later, but yeah, no, you don't. I didn't have a plan. I just did, and yeah, hopefully I answered your question there.
It did.
Yeah.
But out of interest, what did your parents think when you did eventually release your YouTube videos?
I mean, I would show my dad. My parents have been super supportive, and my dad has always been really great. It's funny. I've always at a young age, I would always try to like get him to buy certain devices and certain tools that I could use. And like, I'm, a very fortunate kid, but like, I guess I wasn't, like my parents didn't just buy stuff, just like, oh, he wants that, oh, let's buy it. Or like my sister, I have a twin sister. Like my parents were very strict with what they would get us for Christmas and our birthday. But if I could sell it to my dad, I'd be like, well, we should get an iPad because it can do this and that and this. And it's funny because like, I'm actually a marketing student, and like that's sort of a skill that I think I have. And I can, not that I'm trying to sell people things, but I guess I can sort of market a product objectively, or at least try to. So I would do that, and I would like slowly just sort of, after like months of talking to my dad, like for example, it took me like a year and a half to get him to buy me a camera because I was broke. I had no money, right? So he's like, you know what? He's like, well, you're doing this YouTube thing, you're doing great work, and he's like, let's, for your birthday, I'll get you, a Panasonic G7, and then, all of a sudden my video quality went up. So yeah, my parents have always been really supportive. My mom doesn't really get it, but she doesn't really get, she's like, you know, she's like 53. She just goes on her phone and, you know, barely knows how to answer a voicemail. And, you know, like, but, you know, my dad and, you know, my parents have always been really supportive. But yeah, at first, of course, they were a little bit reluctant. They're kind of private people. So they were like, oh, we don't want your face on the internet. And I'm like, just had my voice there. But yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. My parents have always been there for me, especially my dad, and funding my early efforts here. Although I will say, he would not. I remember asking him, I was like, can I just like have a, you know, a small loan of $1 million to buy some tech? Cause I'm like, I can't, like, that was a struggle. I couldn't buy it. He's like, no, he's like, figure it out. And eventually I did, but that was one of the most valuable moments in my career, my process, you know, being able to, you know, invest in a product and then make money off of that and then reinvest and then, you know, let the snowball happen from there. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, my parents have always been really great and supportive.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And actually that lesson at the end is so good, because there are a lot of people, whether they're kind of starting out young or even older, they're like, getting into the tech YouTube kind of industry is different to others, because in their mind there's a perception that you have to have a lot of money to therefore buy a lot of gear and then review it. And obviously starting out at 15 or something, it's not like you had lots of funds.
Zero, nothing. People are like, oh, what's it like to be rich? And I remember like going to school and like scraping together like quarters to buy tater tots. You know what I mean? Like I had no money. I had nothing. I mean, no, I'm not saying I had nothing. I was very fortunate kid, you know, like lucky enough to be born in America. You know, I went to a great school, you know, I had health insurance, you know, like parents who loved me, very fortunate, but I didn't have any money. I couldn't buy the new iPhone. I remember I was on LinkedIn the other day. I was begging one of the OnePlus people to send me a OnePlus 7. I'm like, oh, it's like last year. So yeah, up until July of last year, broke, 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 like nothing. Like I wasn't even working a minimum wage job. I actually I got a job working at a photography thing. And it was just way too much work for just not enough pay. And yeah, like I had nothing. So yeah, you know, I figured out how to, you know, obviously generate revenue, which, you know, allows me to rent an apartment and buy all the tech that I do. So yeah, now people forget that, you know, they're like, oh, like there's a common comment, you know, a lot of tech YouTubers kind of get that, like, what's it like to have money? It's just like, well, you kind of have to have some money to buy out, because Apple is not sending me all this stuff. Samsung isn't sending me stuff, although, you know, I don't really cover Samsung stuff because it doesn't perform well. That's another thing I'll talk about. People like, why don't you cover Android stuff? And I'm like, I would love to, but it's just, I have a preference. I hope I don't come off as biased, but like, you know, Apple products work for me. I'm a Final Cut editor. I'm on iPhone. I love my iPad Pro, and I'm within the ecosystem, but I like knowingly, I'm not like trapped in there. And I do appreciate other products, and I do like, I'm going to get a gaming laptop. I like, you know, like the game, and, you know, I want to learn maybe like After Effects with like a Windows, like, you know, I had like a PC up until a couple weeks ago when I parted it out because I wasn't using it. So like, I'm aware of other things, but, you know, I have to post on what performs, because otherwise, you know, like that's just the name of the game. Of course, I love technology, but I can't necessarily allocate time and invest time where it's not going to allow me to continue and grow. And of course, there's the concern of, you know, trying to appeal to other audiences. So, you know, it's just a constant struggle. But anyway, going back to the other question, yeah, there's a common perception that tech YouTubers are just rich, and it's like, we definitely can make an income, but you have to remember, we have to reinvest that into all this new MacBooks, new iPhones. When Apple has an event, I'm excited, but I'm like, oh God, like my bank account is going to hurt. Yes. Like AirPods Max, I wasn't happy I had to buy that, $550, you know, like, yeah, and yeah, I'm going to keep them.
Can we talk about the AirPods Max?
We can talk about the AirPods Max. Actually, I have them right here.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely, we can talk about. Yeah.
Excellent. So, yeah. Yes, price crazy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Design.
Interesting.
I like the actual, yeah. That's probably the word I would say. I actually like the look of those.
Oh, they're pretty. You know, not the apple of everyone's eye, but no, they're definitely crafted really well. I mean, I will say, I mean, they do feel like money. Like they do feel luxurious. Like this is like a luxury product. But if I wasn't a tech YouTuber, would I buy these? Probably not. I don't think so. They're definitely for some people, you know, if you're like I think my friend told me, he's like, yeah, if I was a Wall Street broker, I'd buy these. I'm like, okay, but like, yeah, no, I mean, they're really nice. I mean, if you're an Apple user and you want over-ear headphones that you can use around your house, and they're really comfortable, really high quality. I think better than the Bose 700s by a little bit with sound quality. But yeah, for most people, AirPod Pros, they're $199 on Amazon. Beautiful. They're in my pocket. They're disgusting. They're dirty. I use them every day for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I love them. Like, you know, just got an email. Sorry, distracted here. But yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I'm like that dog and up like squirrel. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that Apple released these, but they're definitely not for everyone, for sure. And that's sort of a lot of things with like Apple, like the Mac Pro and that the Pro Display XDR. You know, like not for everyone. So when people. You know, people are quick to hate on things like, this sounds awful. People are quick to hate on things they can't afford, right? Or at least some people who like, it's not like worthwhile for them. Like people can afford things, but it's not necessarily affordable for everyone in terms of like the usage that they get out of it. But yeah, like, oh my God, $550 headphones. Yeah, the price is high, but for what you're getting, I mean, I think I posted a video about this. You know, I said, exceptional build quality, number one, you know, really comfortable. I could wear these for hours, although they're not perfect. Really great sound quality, you know, not the best on the market, and then you just get the seamless software integration. So I guess you get what you pay for if you're in the right demographic. But for most people, the Sony XM4s are just great. You know, yeah. I would say so. Yeah, like I think I recommended that. Someone's like, oh, imagine being this biased in my video that I posted comparing all three, Bose and the XM4s and the AirPods. And I'm like, I'm so biased. I recommended the XM4s at the end, but okay, you know, like.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. If I had the money, I would buy them because I'm an Apple fanboy, right? Like,
right.
I can't. Why wouldn't you if you had the money? But yes,
right, yeah.
You don't have to. It's you're right. It's a luxury product, and they know
it's
a luxury product. So
they do. That's the thing. Isaac, you know, Canupsi was talking to me. It's funny. Like, I talk to tech YouTubers. I know Shane Simmons. You know who he is? Maybe. I know. I think you talked to Christopher Lawley, right?
Yes.
I talked to him. I know. The cowboy guy, he's somebody cowboy. I'm a horrible person. I forgot his first name. And then yeah, and then he does tablet reviews. And then I know Canupsi. I was talking to Isaac, and he's my big brother of sorts. Yeah, we have a great relationship. We've known each other for like 2 years. Yeah, and yeah, he tells me everything I shouldn't do. And yeah, he looks out for me. But anyway, we were talking about AirPods. He's like, yeah, it's a fashion statement. I mean, I don't get this. I don't understand.
I wanted to get to. Yes.
What in the hell? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to like? Just, you know, like what are you supposed to like? This is like it's so weird. How are you supposed to carry that? You know.
That is what I wanted to get to, because that was my thought. That's the one thing I was like, even if I had the money, that would stop me from buying.
Just like, you know, just like, what are you supposed to? I can't throw them in a bag. I want to protect this just as much as I want to protect the metal. So yeah, that's why I don't bring these out. That's why I just pop my AirPods in my pocket. You know, convenient. Yeah. So interesting product to say the least. I'm glad I bought them. I will keep them because I can use them and I enjoy them. But if I wasn't a tech YouTuber, probably not for me.
Yeah, completely. Anyway, sorry, we have digressed, but I had to get
very good at that.
Out my system, yeah.
Absolutely.
Me too. Yeah. It's fine. But you brought up another good point. Is the whole comments thing. So as a YouTuber in general, I suppose, right?
We read the comments, guys. We do. I know sometimes some YouTubers don't look like they read. We read the comments, and a lot of them are fantastic. A lot of them uplift us. We're really happy that you care. Like I said, I'm surprised that you care. I'm just some guy. I'm not trying to like relate to you. I don't think I'm that special. And people are like, oh my God, like we love you. And I'm like, wow. But then some people, you know, leave really interesting comments. Some constructive criticism is great. You know, I mean, just yesterday I had a friend over and he was telling me like, you should really improve your thumbnail game. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right. So like, you know, constructive criticism, it doesn't tickle, but it's great. I like, if you have, you're like, hey, no, you can be doing this better. Tell me. Then there's some, you know, some hate comments, and then they're more often than not funny. You know, I think someone told me like, oh, you look like the rat. You look like Remy the rat and the guy from Ratatouille at the same time. That was great to wake up to. But then there are some people who leave comments that are just like, they're like backhanded compliments. Those are the ones where I'm like, Like I'm just like, but obviously, and then or then when people try to like take the moral high ground, and I'm not going to say who like left this. Hey, look at me, I'm already going on here, talking about this. Someone left me a comment, and like I get it. Whoever, if you're watching this, I understand why you left it, but I had said I was going to return the XM4s and the Bose 700s to Amazon because they have a great return policy. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on Amazon, right? Like Amazon's not going broke if I'm going to return 2 pairs of headphones. But like, you don't understand the ecological impact and like, consumer rights, and we're not going to have return policies anymore. And this is why tech YouTubers suck, because like they do this. And I'm like, do you know how many depreciating assets I have on hand? I'm like, do you understand like how hard it is to sell stuff on eBay? I'm like, no. And like, so then I'll like defend my integrity. And sometimes I'm a little too passionate about that, but I try to be respectful. But
it's hard, right?
It is, because we're human. We want to like, it's nice to be that anonymous person and just be like, F you and whatever. But obviously I can't do that, and I don't want to, because I appreciate my audience, and I don't want to look like a jerk. And a couple of times I have, I'm sure. I'm a human being, I'm not an exceptionally nice person, even in my private life, I'm just some dude, with flaws, and I'm always trying to improve. But yeah, no, comments are fun. We read them, guys. We do, and more often than not, we appreciate them, and I certainly do. I try to heart them and comment and reply when I can. Although I am, especially during the school year, I'm very busy. But yeah, sometimes they get you. You're like, wow. You're like, someone spent the time to write this. But it is what it is. That's just the nature of being on the internet. If you can't handle it, then it's not for you.
I always think if you're getting negative comments, then that to me is like you've made it, right? Someone's
if you have haters, listen. I remember my dad is a clinical psychologist, and he told me, and this is not like a psychological concept or whatever. That's not even the right word. But like he just told me, he's like, not everybody's going to like you. And that's the truth. That's just the fact of the matter. Some people are going to hate your guts or just not like what you have to say. And like you said, if people are not liking you, you have made it. If people don't like your opinion, then that's a good sign. I mean, so to a degree, if you're getting the interesting like to dislike ratio, then you should maybe think about what you're doing. But so long as you're not like Trisha Paytas or like, I don't know, like some other controversial, problematic YouTuber, then you're good. People are not going to always agree with you, and that's fine, especially in the realm of tech. It's your opinion,
Yes,
it's good to be
so I think that's a really good point. And I think for some reason I've heard people potentially get put off of going into YouTube because they're like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this. And it's like, well,
that's just the world,
Yes, right. It's no
that's the world, Yeah, like, I'm not going to be that person who's like, oh, my generation sucks. But, I think we're a little bit soft. We're all worried about offending each other with our opinions and everything. And with regard to our opinions on technology, which is thankfully nothing super political or controversial. Like if you don't like the AirPods, and people are going to, come to your house and shake you and be like, what are you talking about? But, yeah, it's just people are going to disagree with you. That's just the fact of the matter. We have to be courageous and share. Not that saying AirPods Max suck or are great is a courageous opinion, but it's just the fact of the matter. Not everyone's going to agree with you, and if you want everybody to, then reviewing tech is not the thing. Because some people get mad. They're like, "How could you say this? Like the iPad Pro is a toy," and I'm like, okay, like that's your opinion. Good for you. Like. Maybe it's ill-informed, maybe. And some people have left really profound criticism. Like, you know what? Like, you could have done this. You missed. Like, one time I did a Tab S6 review. It wasn't that great. I did a school comparison. I left out so much stuff because I'm more Apple-oriented. I didn't do my research before as well. And this guy left like a literal book. And I read it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this is really great. Thank you so much. I pinned the comment. And I'm like, thank you for informing my audience, because that's what I want to do. If I posted I posted videos that are inaccurate sometimes, and I have to take them down. Like one time I posted a video about a phone, and I argued that it had a 144 hertz display for the whole video, had like a 90 hertz display, and I had to take it down. So like, I can't do that. But like, yeah, constructive criticism, going back to that, it's great. It's really appreciated. People who care about my performance, and like my friends do, they'll leave suggestions. And even though it doesn't tickle, I'm not like, oh yes, tell me what I'm doing wrong. It's constructive, it helps. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, I'm doing a great job at talking. We're already 24 minutes in. It just felt like we've been talking for 5 minutes.
Oh man, Jesus! No, I've got 2 minutes for questions. Okay,
and you can ask them. I'm not. I mean, I got some smart home content to make, but I'm not pressed for time. So if we run a little over, it's okay.
Okay, cool. That's a good point, actually. Your workflow. This is something I'm intrigued with a lot of people.
Yes.
Workflow obsessed. But what's your kind of process like? Talk me through
my process. Yeah. Well, oh my goodness. So yeah, maybe I look like I manage my time well. I don't. I need to work on it. It's so bad. I'm on TikTok all the time. I'm on YouTube. I know I'd be procrastinating school, but to answer your question, I sometimes, it's like recently I've been trying to make more meaningful content. Like I've had there's such thing as filler content where you just have an idea, you sit in front of a camera, you talk, and it either does well or it doesn't. But when it comes to actually planning, we'll talk about that first. If there's like a filler, or not necessarily filler, but just like an easy concept video, I might write a few notes in like Google Docs at like 10 p.m. or like some late time of the day, or maybe early. Who knows? It's all variable. I'm trying to get my work done earlier and not stay up till 6 a.m. doing stuff anymore because it's just so bad. But yeah, no, I'll start out by writing some ideas, or I'll just have an idea and then I'll sit in front of a camera and ramble for an hour and then chop it down to 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the other night I drank 2 cups of coffee and then I sat in front of a camera for an hour and kept re-recording. That's something people don't know. Like it's not easy just coming up with stuff, especially off the cuff if you don't write anything before. And and I didn't realize ingesting all that caffeine was making me like an insane perfectionist. But yeah, a lot of editing happens. Let's just say a lot of frustration, a lot of swearing, a lot of like messing up and restating happens. But yeah, so getting back to my process here, I like to write my ideas or script or outline in Google Docs, and then I will read that over, and then I will sit in front of a camera, hopefully, and then get that out. Try to. It's a lovely process. It's my favorite thing. A-roll, not. And then my hair is often really messy. That's why I wear hats so much. I'm sure you're gonna ask me, why do you wear hats and everything? Yeah, because this doesn't happen all the time. Especially when I was in school, my hair would just be awful. So I would just do that with my Tesla hat or whatever I would do, my Michigan hat, and then so I'll talk to the camera and then I'll do that. And then B-roll, I used to be a big B-roll person, but then I just was like, nobody like people value what you say more than how pretty your video looks. Like I was trying to be, you know who Brandon Havard is? No. He's Marquez's creative director. He's a smaller creator. Brandon Havard, love that guy. Love his work. When I was like 2017, I was like, I was obsessed with his YouTube videos. Like loved his this cinematic. But here's the thing: when it comes to that, it's just, it's great for him and that's his thing. But when it comes to tech YouTube, things are not relevant in a year. So don't spend all that time, doing all. But of course, when it comes to like important reviews, then I'll do B-roll. So yeah, I like to shoot B-roll on a different day, during the day, right? So I'll shoot my B-roll separately. Then I'll write up my script, and then and I used to just plan everything. I used to write my script, shoot my A-roll, and then shoot my B-roll. But it's easier to shoot general B-roll and then sort of apply that like when you're editing your A-roll. I'm all jumbled up here, but yeah, I'm trying to make this make sense for you guys. So yeah, just going back, outline. Before that, if I know what I'm shooting, then I've been shooting products for so long. I know what general shots I need to get. So yeah, I guess I'm like left to right, right to left. So like, yeah, like this is like, yeah, here we go. So yeah, right. So I come up with my idea. Yeah. So I'll go into my schedule in Google Docs. I'll schedule a video or, like roughly whatever, figure what I just get the idea out for this review, this comparison, this showcase, whatever. Shoot B-roll if I need to. Then I'll write my script, write my A-roll, whatever. Then I'll shoot my A-roll. Then I will edit my A-roll and, clip it out and make it however long it needs to be. Then I will add my B-roll, color correct, whatever, and then drag it, painstakingly to wherever it applies. Yep. And then edit and render. And then while I'm rendering and uploading, I usually will create my thumbnail. And it's actually bad. I was talking to this person like, you should put more thought into your thumbnails. I'm like, you're absolutely right. That's the most important thing. So I got to work on being a little more diligent with my time management because I suck, guys. I'm so bad. I am unbelievably bad. No, okay, not I mean, if I was unbelievable at that, I wouldn't
Yeah, I
be
was gonna say,
and
you're
remotely
doing all
successful.
right.
But it's not. It can be better. Like I'm on my phone a lot, and obviously hang out with friends and whatever. But I'm having a life, so
Yeah.
sometimes you have to work late, and sometimes there's deadlines you have to stay up until 9 for. But I'm trying to not do that because I'm always saying I'm up at 3, guys. I'm passing out, and that happens a lot. And most of the time, it's my fault. And sometimes there's like a laptop comparison I need to do, and the laptops came out the day before, and I want to get early because I'm not like Marquez, I'm not like Dave 2D or anybody who can just post something and it just doesn't. Like LTT can post a video a month later and it gets 1 million views, and I'm like, great, like. I mean, good for them. I'm not. I mean, I'm professionally jealous,
Yes.
right? I'm just like they can just post whatever, and people are like, yeah, like the algorithm will push that. But for me, for small YouTubers, we have to just get on that. So yeah, so that's my general process for you. If that makes any
No,
sense.
it does, and I
Yeah, I hope
yeah,
so.
it does. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things is I think sitting on the other side, people don't
Hmm.
necessarily always appreciate or understand how much goes into making even an
Yeah.
8-10
Yeah.
minute video.
Yeah.
It's like hours and
Anywhere
hours and
from
hours.
anywhere from 2.5 hours to 17 hours, 20 hours for some videos. Some of them are just because it involves B-roll and planning and stuff. That headphone comparison took a day, I think. Yeah, that was crazy. That was fun trying to figure out which headphone. I had to invite a friend over. I'm like, am I going crazy? And like, so we sat in my living room. We sat right over there, and sat there like just insane people. I'm like, let's listen to this. We like pass it back and forth. So yeah, a lot of prep, but yeah, anywhere it's all variable. But yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into this. I guess I don't give myself enough credit, but but I'm very fortunate that it's all self-driven. Also, not fortunate because I'm my own boss. I can decide when I just don't want to post something. I can just decide, and that's scary. So
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had someone breathing over my shoulder and be like, you need to do this now. But no, it's just I can go to bed if I want, but or I can just skip this, or I can not work this week, or I can just go on a vacation. Not really. I don't want to go anywhere right now, COVID, but
Yes. Yeah.
but like but like being your own boss is great. But yeah, that is my general process.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And actually,
Yeah.
you've just reminded me. So you moved out, right?
Yeah, I
Recently.
did. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yep. I had been working out of my parents' house for years, and after taking my second semester at my U of M Dearborn, I actually it's funny. I moved out and I transferred to a school in the city that I'm in right now, U of M Ann Arbor. So come get me. No, I'm joking. I mean, Ann Arbor is a big city. You're not going to find me. Hopefully, I don't know. But
Please, no
I
one
can
go and
share a
stalk Noah.
city. Please don't. Yeah, no, no, no. I have a baseball bat. I'm paranoid. I lock my doors. Nah, yeah, that's a fun fact about me. I'm a paranoid person. I'm always like,
Yeah.
especially because, I have tech on hand,
Heck.
so yeah, so I have stuff you can steal now. Wow. See, yeah, someone's going to be like, yes,
We're-
let's go get him. Let's go
Okay,
figure out where
let's
he
move.
lives.
Let's move swiftly on.
Yeah,
And the whole point of that was just to be like,
uh,
congratulations. It's cool to
yeah,
see
let
you
me
got
get to
your own
that. Let
place.
me get to that. Well, see, I'm so sidetracked. Anyway, yeah. So I had been working out of my parents' house, and when quarantine happened, I realized that I love my family, but I cannot stand working around them because they have to make noise. They have to live, and I was a pain in the ass. I'd be like, "Can you please be quiet?" I wasn't that nice, but I can't do that. I can't be shooting down in my basement with my cats everywhere and people cooking and people screaming and people yelling and stomping and all that. I could hear every creak, everything. So obviously, we'll probably, not that revenue or income is something I want to like. Oh, I mean, I'll probably there's videos. I'm sure here's a fun fact. I'm thinking about doing a channel membership where I like talk about just the business side of YouTube and how to do that. So I might offer that as sort of like a monthly subscription, whatever, for whoever wants to listen. Because I'd rather post that to the small amount of people who want to actually hear that. But obviously, past 2019, my YouTube income or just my income in general went from nothing to something, and that allowed me to consider moving out or partially moving out. So I live at home with my parents. I like my family sometimes. Like I said that in a video the other day. But no, I needed a place to shoot and just hang out with friends, but mostly just a place where I could work and also go to school a couple miles away, because I'm thinking because I thought I was going to commute. I thought there was going to be hybrid classes. So I'm like, I cannot be driving 30 miles to school, coming home, shooting stuff at night, it'd be suicide. I would hate my family. I'd hate my life. So, I decided to get an apartment and have all my stuff in here. And yeah, it's funny. I had been talking to my parents about it, and they were really reluctant. I mean, because it was my decision ultimately, but they wanted me to make the right decision. And finally just got to the point where I'm like, well, this is, I think I'm going to do this. Like, all right, you have our blessing, go ahead. And, then I spent oh my God, that most expensive month of my life furnishing everything and bringing everything over. But it was really fun. And, yeah, it's worked out really nicely. I'd love that I can just come here and also hang out with friends, and just have my own sort of world here. But yeah, having my own place to shoot has just changed everything. It's allowed me to work more efficiently and quietly, thankfully. And it allows me to shoot at any point during the day, which is great, because at my house, I'd have to figure out when people aren't around. So yeah, and it's also nice to, get up in the morning, see my family, and then drive out here, and then drive home. Although, sometimes I'm up late here and I bring my work back home, because I'm actually on the laptop that I work off of right now, the MacBook Pro M1, or with M1 chip or whatever. And, yeah, so, I'm still staying up late, but yeah, to answer your, I did move out and it's been great. So yes. I like how I stretched that into a 7-minute dissertation.
It's great. I'm pretty sure I've answered 3 questions, which is makes my life a lot easier.
There you go.
It's brilliant. You answer
great.
like 5 questions that I would have asked in one.
Cool.
So
yeah.
I'm very happy.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah,
you've been doing it for like 5 years. You've been doing it while you've been studying, whether it was through, you call it high school,
studying.
there, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Trying to study.
Trying to study. And
yeah,
I guess, like you mentioned, it's really the last 2 years that have kind of taken off or changed.
Yep.
How has your kind of content evolved, and what do you think really caused that kind of switch?
I mean, it was a struggle up until like 2019. I was trying to review phones. I was trying to, do used reviews, whatever, and everything just performed like okay, like a couple hundred views, maybe a couple thousand views. I was lucky, a couple 100,000 views if I was really lucky. I had posted a Google Home mini video in 2017 that has like 2 million views now. It's really funny. I'll say this on the record. I look like absolute trash in that video. I mean, you know what? Hold on. I'll pull this out. It is the worst look for me ever. And that's the video that gets 2.5 million views. Yeah, I'll pull this up. This is, look at this. Look at me. Why?
No, how old
Why?
are you?
I was 18, 17. No. I was 17. Awful. Okay. Awful. People play that video, I will leave the room. So it's like, like Dan and Phil, like those YouTubers, like Dan's first video, he's like, I leave the room when you play. That's my video. I hate it. But anyway, that was the first video that really popped off for me. A couple videos before I got like a couple 100,000 views. Like I had like my iPhone 5S video and back in like 2015, but that was like, I wasn't monetized, but that was really cool. That really boosted my confidence. But yeah, my Google Home Mini video was the first video that I actually made money off of. And then I had a little bit of spare change, like maybe like $2,000 in my account to like play around with and save. And actually no less than that, probably, because I was paying for like, gas and stuff like that. I used to, it's funny. I don't look like the type that would, you totally didn't ask about this, but I'm gonna say this. My dad had a truck at one point, and my sister and I would drive that to school. So yeah, I drive a Prius, but I was driving a Chevy Colorado, and it just drank gas. So I was broke paying for that. But it's a good lesson, whatever. It's just a life lesson. Things cost money. Although I was not happy paying that. But anyway, yeah. But to get back to what I was saying, yeah. That made money initially, that was, a chunk of change. Like I think I made my first $1,000 and I was like, wow, that's insane. And that, that gave me some money to invest in like a OnePlus 7 Pro and other stuff. And then, I had been eyeing the iPad Pro since it came out. I was like, I made a video, like take my money. That's the coolest thing. It was, everyone could appreciate it. It was the greatest thing, not, of course, not objectively the greatest thing, but like everybody across the board, Android people, Windows people, everyone was like, yes, this is a product we all love. And when iPad OS came out, I was like, this is the reason why I was like, yes, I'm going to spend half of what I have, like half of all the cash I have gone. iPad Pro, it's on sale. I actually bought, it's so funny. I bought one with one of my really good friends, Patrick. We went to Micro Center in Michigan, and we went there. We bought the same setup. We got an Apple Pencil and a silver iPad Pro. It's really funny. It's like they're like twin iPads, and I got the one that literally changed everything, you know, for me. So I bought that, and I made this video, why iPad OS made me buy iPad Pro, and that blew up. And it's so funny because the moment that my channel started performing really well was the week I was going to go on vacation. So I was like, oh God, like I have to like, so I grinded my ass for a week. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I was just iPad content. I was like, people want to see this from me. This is my break. And the videos performed well, and I gained a following, and I made, you know, some money. And then I was like, you know what? I'm like, I think I figured out, like, I sort of have a niche, you know, Apple content. People want to see my iPad stuff. People might want to see my MacBook stuff. So I bought a MacBook Pro with the money that I had made, you know, spent like a third of what I had and reinvested into products. And then it grew from there. And then by November, December, I had, those are the best months financially of my YouTube career. But ever since then, like for the entirety of 2020, with the exception of the stock market crashing and advertisers not investing as much, because like in March, CPM, which makes up your earnings, just went this awful. I went from like $11 to like $6, and I was like, wow. But you know, but whatever. It's just, that's just the fact of life. And I had a job, and I'm very fortunate that I could work from home. You know, obviously some people had nothing; they couldn't make anything. So I shouldn't be complaining. But still, ever since then, you know, financially speaking, which is important because, you know, by the way, we have to buy tech. We have to have income coming in. It's been pretty consistent. And then, you know, of course, YouTubers work with sponsors, and that's gotten better, you know, so I can, you know, make revenue off of that as well, or a very substantial portion. So I'm working with AdSense income and sponsorship income. So yeah, it's just been up and up from there. And yeah, so yeah, I would say the turning point where I finally got my break was July something 2019. And since then, I sort of figured out my niche. And even so, now I have to figure out, you know, because things change, you know, like I posted iPad content the other day or a couple weeks ago. It didn't perform as well, you know, so it's kind of scary, but you have to sort of figure out and experiment and see with what people want. That's always the struggle. You know, it's never easy. Meanwhile, people are like, oh my God, you're doing so great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, but behind the scenes, I'm like stressing about how videos aren't performing well. And for like the past 5 videos, you know, they perform like, you know, 8 to 10 out of 10. And you know, like, I'll send like Isaac a text like, oh my God, like my video. He's like, dude, just calm down, just work. It'll be okay. You did this before. You almost gave up. You know, I almost gave up in you know, in June of 2019. I was like, this is not worth my time. You know, like I just want to just buy tech and just, you know, like maybe this isn't for me. And then I had my break, and I was like, okay, now is the time to really just, you know, just get to it. But yeah, it's a struggle. It's always will be a struggle. You think once you get your break, you're gonna be like, yes, I'm finally made it. No. It's consistently I could always be doing better, or oh, I'm having a bad month or whatever. So, you know, there's always room to improve. But yes, to answer your question, things have went exponentially up and up since 2019, July of 2019. So
How close were you to quitting? I mean, yes, awesome.
I mean, I wasn't like about to quit, but I was like burning out. I was not enjoying it. I was like, this is like, I'm putting in all this work, and I could be, because I was going to get a job. I was going to work at Best Buy. Like, honestly, I was going to work at Best Buy. I was going to be one of those people who's like, hi, can I sell you a laptop? You know, and I probably could. I'd probably be good at it. You know, obviously, you know, that's the one compliment I can give myself. You know, I don't like to hype myself up, but I could definitely work at Best Buy or the Apple Store and be great and be a great consultant. But yeah, I almost just got a regular job, and that would have been great. But I was like, you know, I need to make an income. I need to, you know, pay for gas. I need to pay for my phone and, you know, have a life here and have some pocket change to throw around. And so I was considering just maybe keep doing it, but very sparingly. But yeah, no, thankfully I had my break, and it's been, like I said, up and up from there. But, you know, yeah, so I wouldn't say I was about to quit, but from the if the trajectory was a little bit different, it's very possible I could have just started uploading once a month, or very rarely. But you know, it had been years of hit and miss and struggle. But I realized that the issue was I just didn't have any income to buy newer products. And unfortunately, you know, like, I mean, used reviews are great, but people want to know what's new. You know, people want to know how new products are and if you should buy them. And the issue was I didn't have any income, but that's fine because I learned how to, make some and grow it and invest. So that, like I said, going back to the whole thing where my dad was like, I'm not giving you money. Like, no, that would just ruin it. That would just, it wouldn't be your money. If I gave you money and you made money off that, it'd just be like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be as satisfying. And it is really satisfying to know that, I'll give myself credit there that I was able to grow a very small, amount of, funds available by tech into something so much more. Like my budget is exponentially bigger than it used to be from zero. So it's really great to be able to just be able to buy, all this tech. It's people like, oh my God, like, how do you do that? You're rich. It's like, no, it's like, it's really great to be able to buy the new iPhone when the new iPhone comes out so I can talk about it. So yeah, probably answered 4 questions there.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. So if you were to kind of do it over, what would you do differently? Would you have started when you did? Would you have
I don't really
a different route?
No, I don't know. I mean, of course, sometimes I wish I would have, I don't know, maybe started earlier. Who knows? Part of me wishes I was one of those tech YouTubers back in 2008, but I would have been 8 years old, and 8-year-olds don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I mean, no, I'm proud of what I've done, and of course, I wish I would have had more income back then, but that just wasn't the case. I was in high school, and it, it was fine. I think obviously I'm 20 years old. I'm not quite 25, which is when, men are able to properly think. I do plenty of stupid things and make plenty of stupid decisions. So I think my success happened at a good age where I could handle it, yeah, no, I don't know if I necessarily do things differently. I mean, I would have combed my hair in the Google Home Mini video or cut it. Jesus, it's awful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any major regrets. I'd have to think about that, honestly. And that might be like I said, if I do like a channel membership type thing where I talk about like in detail, like different aspects of running a channel and growing a channel and whatever my opinion is worth. My nose is running. Give me literally 1 second. Hold on. Jeez. I'm like, one second.
I will scan the chat that I've been ignoring. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. I just am incapable of multitasking. So let me glance through it. No, you've got some diehard fans in the
Oh my goodness. No way.
Guys, I've got a couple more questions for Noah, but if you want to drop some questions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We will get to them in a couple of minutes.
Cool.
Let me ask 1 or 2 last ones, and then we'll get to the ones from you guys. So feel free to drop them in now.
Not to interrupt you, what was I saying? I'll wrap up what I was saying before I blew my nose.
Before your nose.
Yeah.
We're talking about well, I asked about.
Oh, if I would have done anything different,
different when you started.
I'm sure there are individual things, but no, I think that I've been very fortunate with the way things have went, and thankfully I don't have any major regrets, but maybe I should have moved out a little earlier, but I just didn't think about it, and I didn't know I was going to this school 30 miles away, so it's like things sort of lined up the way they did, and they're working out pretty nicely right now. I mean, like I said, there are probably individual things that I could redo, but other than that, no. Other than that, I'll catch you next one. Other than that, I think that I'm blessed, and I think that things have gone fairly well. We'll see. 2021 is gonna happen. So
I think they've gone really well, and your content is awesome. And I'm just gonna take.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
How much I enjoy your content, and I have been watching for quite a while. Again,
since when?
This is the thing: is I have no sense of time, but it's
me neither.
At least a year plus, because
cool.
You're not new to me, but I admit I haven't been there from the beginning.
No, that's okay. I wouldn't want to either. Just forget everything before 2019.
No, that's fair.
No.
It must have been your iPad stuff. Right.
Yes, that's
onto your content in the.
That's what I've been known for the past year, and.
Exactly. So.
Yes.
Because. No, it can't have been anything else because I was going for an iPad phase at that point as well.
Yes.
So it was the whole, what iPad do I buy? Do I do this?
Absolutely.
These are cool videos.
Right. You can only make so many of those, by the way. Oh my goodness,
What
iPad
videos?
content,
Oh,
iPad
okay.
content.
Yeah.
Because let's just people. I mean, I milked it. I mean, I tried to make meaningful content, of course, but it comes to a point like I haven't posted a lot of iPad content recently because I'm trying to think of innovative videos that provide different perspectives, right? But I got to post something on iPad pretty soon. I know a lot of my fans are iPad people, so I'll get to that. But I don't want to post an iPad video just to post an iPad video, so. So that's another fun fact. Even though I'm like the iPad guy or kind of am,
Yeah.
there's only so much
You're the
iPad
Apple
content you
guy
can make.
in my
Yeah,
head.
generally
Yeah.
Apple, yeah, and
Yeah.
some occasionally a different phone or a different thing. But
Yeah.
like I said, I will talk about what people want to hear me talk about. So
Yes. Yeah. No, I've seen some of your polls, and they're definitely
yes,
iPad heavy, and I'm like, oh, I
absolutely.
kind of want to see the Mac video
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
I will tell you another fun fact about me. I guess although I love iPad and I use it for college, I take notes, I sketch and stuff. Or no, I don't know. Excuse me, I don't sketch. I handwrite notes.
Yes.
I am more of a Mac person, honestly. I use Final Cut Pro and I'm on Photoshop, and I love my MacBook. I love my iMac. But no, I do love iPad, and it's an important part of my tech life. But yeah, it's not necessarily the only product that I use.
Yes. Yes.
But although I'm not like Luke Miani obsessed with Mac, and if he ever watches this, love your content, man. Great Mac stuff. Love your old refurbished Mac content, dude. That's really cool. But anyway, just
Yes. No,
talking
that's
about
cool.
me.
I will second that if in case
Yeah.
he's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I love my iPad too.
Another great creator.
Yes, I love his stuff.
Yes.
Definitely cool. What was I going to ask you? I wanted to flip the other question and say, is
Sure.
there like a standout moment or something that you've achieved that you're like super proud of, and you can look back at your kind of YouTube career and go, yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, 100K was pretty cool. That was a moment. Although, I guess it was a bit artificially driven by a giveaway that I did. But I think a cool moment was I recently posted a video like sort of like asking what I could do better. It didn't get a ton of views because it was just people who care. Like got like 2,000 views, and like the comments were just so like heartfelt and meaningful, and I just was so blown away. Like I wasn't like crying or like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, but like I was so touched by how many people like cared and how many people knew about my life and were interested in me, which is just so insane, because like you as a YouTuber, you forget like people also. For tech, it's more so they want to hear your opinion, but also some people care about you. So that was sort of a moment where I was like, wow, I've really created a great community, and it's I'm very fortunate that they make my life possible, because without their initial sort of interest, then the algorithm's not going to push my stuff. That's why I was so like like leave a like, comment, all that stuff. I'm a little bit less into doing that now, but engagement is super important. I'm forever fortunate and thankful for that. And also yeah, so yeah, I'd say the 100K ish, within that was a big moment. And, having people actually care about my content, that was really cool. Just seeing people, care about the fact that people want to hear what I have to say. Like, I guess I realized that like after 2019, so that was a turning point, I'd say, where I'm proud of that. And also I of course, when you try to get into a college, you have to write, essays and stuff. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have gotten into, this business school that I go to. I go to Ross. It's a pretty high-end business school, and and although I'm definitely not the best student, I will tell you that right now I am passing my classes basically. I invest my time in my channel, and which is my business, and also my livelihood, and also I have to pour some time into school, but I'm not getting perfect grades. I'm not a stellar student at all. I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, but without YouTube I would not have gotten in there, because I'm an entrepreneur. Like they love that stuff. So I was able to say, I cultivate, like one of the questions was like, oh, like, tell us how you've like cultivated a community and all this stuff and how you want to serve people. And I talked about how, my goal is to inform people and serve my community and just answer as many questions that consumers have. And, and the fact that, that happens, and I have this great thing going on. And also, of course, there's the financial aspect, making money and reinvesting in whatever they enjoyed that. And I was able to get in, even though my SAT scores aren't amazing. My grades aren't amazing. Like I said, I'm not like some all-star, like astronaut student, right? That was able to get me into this school, which is, like the other half of what I'm going to have. You know what I mean? Like, I guess people ask me like, oh, like, how do you manage? I'm like, well, I want to have balanced success. I want to, put enough time in my channel. I want to make money and like make money as in like be able to, invest and grow and and serve my community, not just like, yeah, I'm in it to make money. Like, no, like I don't want to sound like that. I love what I do, and I love the fact that people care about what I do, and I'm grateful every day. But then my degree, my BBA is another thing I have to invest in. And all, I'm not going to get straight A's or anything. I'm not interested in that. I'm trying to be the top of my class. Like that's another thing that I got going on, and I would not have been able to get to this school, which is an excellent school, and I'm forever fortunate to be there, and of course I'll let you know, like, I'm fortunate to not pay any college tuition, which is amazing, so I'm although I probably could, that alleviates a lot of my stress, and it allows me to buy tech and everything. So again, I'm a very fortunate person. So yeah, but without this channel, I would not be going to this school. So I'm very grateful for that, or to be in this position and to have this really great community.
Yes, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I, for one, I'm glad you are.
I'm glad you're part of it. I'm glad you guys are part of it in the chat, during these comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question. Do you
Cool.
have any advice to someone starting out, or a message that you want to send maybe your community?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I might do some sort of like, not like master class, but like something like that. So I don't want to give away all my secrets here, right? Because, they're worth something. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. But advice, I mean, like I said at the beginning, you asked, how I started out, what kind of mindset you should have. Don't start thinking you're going to go anywhere. Just be you, love what you do, love technology, share your opinion, make it meaningful, spend some time with it. Don't expect to perform very well at first. YouTube is a very saturated, platform, TikTok is interesting because you can go viral, but we're not talking about TikTok, we're talking about YouTube. YouTube is really difficult. It's much more difficult to go anywhere with YouTube today, but it's definitely possible. You have to see what's trending. You have to see what people are talking about. Although I will admit, with iPad Pro, I had no idea people were that into it. I just got very lucky. But yeah, you just got to see what people are talking about. If you're working a day job, set aside some revenue to invest into products you want to talk about, or whatever. Just for YouTube in general, just do it because you love it. Do it because you want to. Don't do it because you're trying to make money or make a living. And if it happens, it happens, and then you can spend your time and your money and and sacrifice a more stable income. But yeah, just I guess my best word of advice is to go into it thinking that nothing will come of it other than your enjoyment and having a handful of people enjoy your content as well. Don't go into it thinking it's going to go anywhere. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy your time. You're going to burn out, and you're going to, because like it took me years, and some people it took a couple months, but like it takes time. Even if it's a couple weeks, couple months, whatever, it is frustrating. It is difficult. You go to bed some nights and you're like, damn, like awful performance or awful day, or I've spent so much time on this video and it got 2 views or 100 views, or like sometimes in my case a couple thousand views. I'm like, dang. But yeah, you just have to have realistic expectations and a good mindset, and then you can definitely go places. And also you have to have something meaningful to say. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like some guru or something, but apparently people think so, which is just insane. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I
think
that's a really good message, actually. I think people need to go in it with the right mindset. I think that's absolutely key, but also not be disheartened when things don't kick off like within weeks or months. It's
No.
Game, right?
There was always, and even so, like I said, even if you make your break, there's always going to be struggle. You're always going to be thinking about, this video didn't perform well. I'm worried about what kind of content I have to post. Am I going to be relevant in a year? Am I going to be relevant in a week? It's a constant, worry and struggle, and it's stressful. It's work. It's work, guys. Even this is like, I enjoy my job. I'm so fortunate. I'm so flexible. Like I said, it got me into my dream school, but like, it's work. It's not every day you want to do this. Not every day I want to like sit in front of a camera. It's not every day I want to script and unbox it. But of course, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's just work. So yeah, realistic expectations, I guess, is the main theme I have here to share.
Amazing. Right. I can't believe it's been an hour, but
yeah,
it has.
I told you I can talk.
Yes, you can, but it's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have spoken to you. And
thank you for having me on here. Like I said, this is my first real interview, and it's an honor being here. And apparently it's an honor to have me, which is like, okay, sure.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's just nuts sometimes when I'm speaking to people like yourself. It's like, oh shit, this is happening. But no, honestly, I super appreciate the the stuff that you do on your channel for everybody and the content you put out, but also for coming here and spending.
And of course, I appreciate your engagement. You know, you guys make my life possible. It's true. I mean, of course, the algorithm does as well, and I do too. You know, I put in the work. Obviously, I lose sleep, but yeah, without your engagement with the comments and likes and all the love you share, yeah, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you to all of you in the chat, and thank you, Bhav, and anybody else who's watching this eventually. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you as well. It goes both ways. It's a reciprocal relationship.
Definitely. Guys, thank you for everyone who turned up, even if you're not still with us, but if you're watching on a replay or anything. So really appreciate it. No, sorry, one thing I didn't ask is, do you want to tell people where they can maybe find you other than the YouTube channel?
I don't do it. I mean, I have an Instagram, but I don't post to it that much. Okay. TikTok, thankfully not. I'm really cringy. Never. No. And then, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just on YouTube, guys. You can find me in one place, you know, pretty much. You know, if I have any other platforms, I might plug them. Probably not, though. I'm not on Twitter. You know, that's toxic, and you know. But yeah, no, I'm on YouTube, people. YouTube.com/Noah Herman. That's where I'm at, and yeah.
Brilliant. All right, awesome. Thank you to everybody who turned up, and Noah, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
We'll speak to you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you for showing up.